Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. So another fluid art painting, and this time I'm using a Reiki symbol. I'll explain more about that in the process. And I'm using a pouring medium with a mixture of paint and water. And as always, I'm going to list everything in my description box. So if you want more information on consistency, ratio, and brands of paint that I use, please check out the description box below, just expand it, and all that information will be in there. So that's there to help you as well. I'm really excited. I'm using 4 colours. One of them's a white and the other 3 are metallic. And one metallic that I've not used probably for a couple of years. So I'm really excited to revisit these colours. This is about having a bit of fun, and I'm going to explain my process as we go. As always, thank you so much for being here. Let's see what we can create. Okay, so here are the brands of paint I'm using. I'm using a range from Amsterdam. I've got my titanium white. I'm using a graphite that I've not used for a long time, and I can't wait to show you that colour again. A silver and a light gold. And they are the colours that I'm going to use today. I've got a canvas, a deep edge canvas. It's a raw canvas that's been primed, ready for use. So there's no base colour. There's no liquid on the base before I start pouring. And this size is a 24 by 12 inch canvas. And let me show you the consistencies of the paint as we go. So the light gold first. You can see here that it trickles off of the spatula, leaves a trace in the cup. It's thicker than normal. I put all my ratios and consistencies in the description box, but you can just see how it leaves a trace before disappearing into the cup. And look at that graphite colour. I absolutely love that. I can't wait to see how it's going to react with the other colours. You can see it shimmer there in the light. So yeah, so they're the 4 colours that I'm going to use. You can see that it trickles off of the spatula, leaves a trace before it then disappears. And that's the same with all 4 of those colours. So let's go. So I'm just going to spend the next couple of minutes taking each colour one by one in turn and placing the colours into these 2 cups. And these 2 cups are the cups I'm going to use to create this painting. You'll see from the deep concentration on my face that I'm trying to level out the paints and ensure that there's an equal amount in each cup. So my 2 cups are done. Give you a cheeky grin. And what I'm going to now do is I'm going to pour the paint from the cup onto the canvas. But I'm using one of the symbols that I learnt when training to be a Reiki practitioner. And this is the Cho Ku Rei power symbol. The symbol increases the focus and the voltage of Reiki energy. And there were 3 key aspects of the power symbol. So the straight line at the top of the symbol represents the male energy of the universe. The straight line descending from the top line represents the energy flowing down to earth and the spinal column. And then the spiral represents the female energy and touches the spinal column 7 times, once for each of the chakras. So that's the idea behind this one. But of course, you can draw any symbols you want, but this for me was really about infusing the Reiki energy that I've learnt and infusing that within a painting. So I've done 2 of the Cho Ku Rei symbols. And then with my other cup of paint, I'm literally going to do a larger symbol with the same principle, using the line from the top going down to the bottom and then a spiral effect. And I'm going to do that over the top of the 2 symbols I've already done. And then the idea is to then pick up my canvas and then tilt the canvas from side to side, spreading the paint across the full surface area of the canvas and down the sides. But as I say, it's really up to you what kind of symbols you draw on your canvas. It could just be random shapes, but this is about seeing how these symbols can transform into a creation. I often get asked why I use a torch in my paintings, and this is really just to pop the air bubbles, especially in this type of creation. You can also use heat to encourage cell reaction if you're using a cell activator, but this is really just about popping those air bubbles that have been created when I mix my paints up. So now is about tilting the canvas from side to side, moving that volume of paint that's on that canvas across the full surface area and down the sides. And it's also looking at the pattern that's being created and how I want that pattern to take form over that surface area. So when I've got a good spread of paint across that surface area, it's really looking at that composition, looking at that pattern and understanding where your eye is drawn in the most. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up and give it a like. Let me know what you think about this creation process. There's a comment section down below, so leave me a message down below. Let me know what you're thinking and if you're going to try this as well. It also really helps me push out my video across YouTube and introduces my videos to people that might not yet be subscribed to my channel. So it brings the community together and it brings people together if they want to watch this type of art form. So thank you so much in advance for doing that. So I'm just adding a little bit more paint down there in that corner. That's just a bit of a flow extender for me, just using up my paints. And what it does is it encourages the paint that I've already got there to flow more easily into that corner without really distorting the pattern and the design that I've already created. So once I'm happy with that, I'm gonna tidy up my drips along the edges, take those off, and I'll take you in for a closer look. I'm really happy with this creation. I love the patterns on top. I'm just checking the surface area to make sure there's no puddles of paint in an area, because if you leave big puddles of paint in certain areas and it's not consistent, then that's going to really affect the drying process. So I'm now going to take you in for a closer look at how these colours have really worked together and how that pattern has really taken shape across the surface area by tilting those lines and those symbols from side to side and over the edges. I'll then place this to one side on my drying table, and then once it's dry, I'll take you in for a closer look at the dry version. So here we go, it's fully dry. I love this painting, and I just love how that gold isn't kind of the main colour, but it gives that shadow effect across those other colours and kind of emphasises that kind of depth and those lines within this creation. I'm so happy with this, and I think I'm going to try different symbols, different shapes, and stretch them out across the canvas to see what kind of pattern and design we can create. I've had so much fun with this. Let me know what you think in the comments below, especially if you're going to try this as well. And what other colour palettes would you like me to experiment with this year? I'd love to hear from you. A big thank you to each and every one of you for all of your support day on day, week on week. I really do appreciate you. And I really hope I get to see you again in the next video. Have a great week ahead, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye everyone.